All right, should we kick things off? First thing, I don't think we have any new faces. Nope. Incubation. So as many of you know, there was a big vote over the last couple of weeks, and we just passed 8 votes on the mailing list, and we think, or given the size of the TOC and the supermajority rules, we think that we're still waiting for an official announcement from the CNCF, but that means that we should enter incubation soon. So congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, a request from the leadership team though, like don't go off and tweet about it. We're letting the CNCF make the first announcement about it, but congratulations to everybody on the call for the hard work.
Awesome. And next thing on the list is add manifest size to report TOML.
Are we not doing outstanding RFCs today?
Oh yeah, sorry. I got copied from the last thing. I guess that got copied from the Thursday thing. Release planning and updates.
We found one bug in the lifecycle when someone's slice pattern had a trailing slash. We weren't matching it anymore. And with that fixed in the lifecycle, I think we're going to cut an additional patch either later today or early tomorrow with that fix.
Cool. On the platform side, we just released an RC build for pack 0.15.0. David Freilich will be the one kind of taking point on that release. So we are currently in feature complete, and we expect to ship the stable beta version next Wednesday.
Awesome. I will share my screen so we can go through RFCs. Everybody see that? Good. Cool.
Good.
Add image manifest size to report TOML. This is on the list. Is that right? I saw report TOML there. So, but I am supposed to add a label to it. I'm supposed to see if this works. What is this about? This is Buildpack API.
It needs a team, so it's going to either be core, distribution, implementation, learning, and I don't know.
So this is image manifest size to report TOML. Is this something that this isn't something a Buildpack would put in? This is like a
life cycle.
We call this implementation or core, although I feel like the distinction between those two gets blurry, right? Because almost anything that goes in the implementation would go in the spec as well.
So which
I wonder if it's worth reviewing the RFC, or at least getting a refresher before annotating it.
All right, we will not put things on this until we talk about it in a second. Add stacks.base image label. Is Kenny here to chat about this one? Does anybody have context on what this one is? No. This is about describing the base image that a stack came from. So this would be like a platform thing. So I add the platform tag to it.
That'd be that I think is what we're thinking.
So which platform tag? Platform maintainer, issues created platform, or spec platform?
Platform.
Just platform? Okay.
Yeah.
And then
should we prefix those with team, maybe? Team slash? Not right now.
Also a spec platform, right? We said we labeled things by the spec too while we're in here.
Right. Right. So spec platform. Okay. And then was it supposed to assign people to it now that I put platform?
Hey, look who got lotteried up. Good job, Emily.
Wait, I don't see it.
Oh, no, hold
Emily
on.
just added a review.
Actually,
to
I've
it.
actually already reviewed this.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
yeah.
up there.
It's supposed to assign somebody, right?
Diligently
Yeah,
reviewing
on.
these as they come in.
Implementation. Let me see. I'm looking behind the scenes at the log message. No, it didn't quite go. Okay, we'll have to figure it out. I'll take another look at it. Keep going. We can skip it this week.
Extension spec for builders. Dave here.
It's an FCP, right? Are we past the time or are we ready to merge it today?
FCP closing on 11
Yeah.
4, and that's today. So somebody want to take closing this? Let's move on.
Some maintainer has to take that over, right? Because they need to open a bunch of spec issues.
Yeah. Now we have to add the issue labels and then we can merge it.
And that's on spec repo.
So should I assign a maintainer group to this? Probably. What's builder fall into? Is this implementation?
It's an extension spec. It stands alone, right?
Isn't that
Well,
that's just core?
core. Okay. So this one. Doing this. Okay. Or Ben,
Mini
did you want me
labels.
to, do you want me to not add the labels now so we can try adding them later? Is that better? So that
Yeah, just skip the
Okay.
labels for now. I have
Okay.
one, which will allow me to troubleshoot what went wrong, and we can have a go next time.
got it. All right. Pre-release versions and experimental features for API. Joe or Terrence?
I think this has the approvals to FCP, right?
Just waiting on you, Stephen, for votes as far as I guess core team voting, but
But it has majority, right? Doesn't need
yeah, it has enough. Just if you want to review it, you're the only one missing.
I can still review it during FCP, right?
Yep.
There's no reason to not push into FCP right now.
You can leave a final comment during the designated period.
Exactly. That's the proper process. 11/11, is that right?
Yep.
Cool. 7 days. Oh, and then I should add the label to it. This needs other labels too, right? Do we decide if does this affect the spec?
I think this one is pure implementation. Is that right? Maybe. It affects the spec too.
Spec, which one?
All the specs, because it's about a type of thing that can be in the spec, right? Which actually makes it appropriate for none of the labels.
I'm not going to put more labels on it then. It needs the FCP label though, right? All right. Application mixins. Sorry, I shouldn't have clicked on that. That's part of stack packs. Stack packs on the list this week. Anything with stack packs this week?
I think tomorrow's meeting will focus on that, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think we'll do like some more readout of it for tomorrow.
Cool. As a reminder, if anybody wants to be involved in the sort of SIG, I guess, that we're doing on Thursdays for stack packs, please show up if you have any opinions about that. Looks like we're trying to get to something that we have strong consensus on. Buildpacks should be able to provide the default process for an app. Is this still looking for approvals? Where are we at with this one?
I think you can go into FCP.
Yeah, looks like we got everything. Cool.
Um,
SCP closing on 11/4. Nope, 11/11. Hang on these labels, I think. All right. FCP for project descriptor flexibility. It's a draft. Layer origin metadata. Anybody talk to Paul recently? Someone was
Emily
gonna.
just volunteered to talk to Paul.
We'll put that on hold until you talk to Paul. Cool. Offline build packages RFC. Any ban this week? Is this just looking for approvals? I see some approvals. Guess. Looking for approvals. Seems like he's just doing polishing now. Cool. The rest are drafts. So that concludes our RFC review. Going back to the agenda. Next thing is incubation, which I already talked about. And then the last thing on the list is add manifest size to report toml.
Yeah, this is something I submitted. It's extremely simple. It's just adding the manifest size to report toml. It's like self-explanatory. So the size that you see when you Docker push that's reported, I would just like that size to be in report.toml. Selfishly, I want it just because it makes integrating with Notary easier in KPack.
This is the size of the uncompressed manifest JSON. Is that correct?
I think so. I just called it like whatever the canonical format is, but like if you like, I have an example in the summary, but if you curl for that manifest from Docker, like whatever it returns.
The content length of the.
Yeah.
Got it.
So.
Okay. How does this interplay with manifest lists?
I don't know. It's a good question. That's not something I thought about.
Should it be the? Should we say it's the manifest of? It's the size of the resolved manifest. That was because it's report toml. So at that point, you know what manifest you ended up using. It's just not going to be the first one that gets requested.
This is about like an image that we exported, right? So
Yes.
we don't currently create multi-architecture images. So I feel like the manifest list question, although hopefully will be relevant someday, isn't totally relevant right now.
Well, wasn't sure if what images are going to get sizes reported. That makes more sense. How big are manifests?
Small, like on the order of like
500.
Alpines. Yeah, like 500 bytes, 2000 bytes, maybe 4K.
Someone said downloading a manifest and a config blob for a build pack was like several hundred kilobytes. And that seemed much larger than I thought it would be.
The image config blob, not the manifest.
Yeah.
The config
Yeah.
blob is also just JSON also. We don't put that much JSON in it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
do.
if you've seen what
Have you seen the
Ben is
labels?
putting in some of these
Yeah.
labels.
Like,
Right.
I would say that for the average Java application, one of the things we put in is or for a boot application is likely around 600K alone, just on one entry that we put into the BOM.
Someone was complaining that it was too much to get an admissions controller. Too large a request to do an admissions controller.
Like, we're going to do something. So there are like different pieces of that particular question. It sort of comes up as part of the separate the BOM from the matching metadata. And we're going to like shrink down the matching metadata. There's some places where we have some really large things. All we're going to do is we're going to hash that content, which I think is a reasonable change to make. But like that doesn't solve the bill of materials problem. We are going to not only continue shoving everything that we currently do into the bill of materials, we want to do a lot more than we currently are. So like if we are already running into problems with how the bill of material manifests itself, we should have another discussion about that.
I don't think it's a problem. This like admissions controller thing I bring up was like for a hypothetical architecture of a thing that shouldn't be architected like that, right? And the only other place was Falco does some validations that enforce a label length that is not enforced by the spec, and is the only tool so far that we've seen that does that. So I'm not worried about it. I think we are to spec. It is a FS is a blob and not metadata in the manifest. That's it's a compressed blob for a reason, right?
I feel like if it was a question, it wouldn't necessarily be a spec question, right? It's more about like build pack decisions about how verbose to be with different types of metadata.
Oh, I think on the table that the bill of materials would not be added as a label, and we'd have to come up with something else.
You could put it in an FS blob that just downloaded separately, or we could have a way of another file that exports data to something like, if you wanted to put a lot of stuff in GraphAOS or something like that.
So,
I
so
feel
like
like
keep
for
that
that
in mind.
particular image, I'm not even sure it's the build materials itself that's that large. I think it's like a additional custom label. When I was looking at this before, that's larger. The one's like Spring metadata in this
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, that one.
Interesting. So sorry, back to the topic though of report TOML and the manifest size. Any more questions about this, or do people feel like this is pretty reasonable?
The only thing I didn't answer is what to call this field in report.toml, but like very ambivalent about that. So
Yeah, I think like example of where it's going to be placed, again, it seems simple, but I think it would just make it clear.
you can do that.
Awesome. You could propose a name too, and just say final name will be decided in the spec BR, right?
Yeah.
There's another approval process to get that through.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. I think that is the last item on the list, unless somebody's added something since clicked on it. And we could all probably use some time back today. So we can call it here unless anybody has anything else. All right. Thanks, everybody.